collectively have Alzheimer's. He doesn't just have it, I have it too. Every person who's been touched by it has it. We had to retool our whole way of thinking, and during that time, Bill was getting worse. And what we decided at that point in time was that we can't make it go away and we can't fix it. Maybe we can help somebody else, and maybe we can find a voice.
He's forgetting people's names that he's known forever, people's faces, the things that made him that we all fell in love with. They were leaving us little by little. I think it is harder for the person with Alzheimer's because they know what their fate's going to be. Alzheimer's is a fatal disease. There are no walks with survivors for people with Alzheimer's. Tomorrow will be different. A month from now, every month we lose a little bit of who he is as a person, the person we fell in love with, and you have to start all over again.
Since we can't cure the disease, we need to find ways to help the caregivers understand how to cope.
The thing that I found most valuable about the Alzheimer's Association is their body of knowledge and their willingness to help folks that are walking down this path, and putting me in touch with other people who had done the exact same thing, who had lived the exact same, it's a nightmare, basically. And that gentleness and that acceptance was very, very valuable to me.
The Alzheimer's Association has been a lifesaver for me. They're there not only the people with Alzheimer's, but for the caregivers. And I am involved in not one, but 2 or 3 support groups. And by doing that, you meet other people, you find strategies on how to deal, because it's not easy, it's heartbreaking. I'm losing my best friend. I'm losing my husband. We've been married 25 years. And I don't know how to live my life without him.
I remember that about the first 4 times I went, I sat in the corner and cried, because I thought, this cannot be the route that my life is taking. Now I go and I recognize that same look in the faces of the people that are brand new, and they come and they don't know what to expect, except they realize this is a window into my future. I go with great regularity because there is a degree of comfort knowing that there are other people that have the same disease.
And going to the groups helped quite a bit, because it allowed us to see that, well, we're not alone. You know, it's other people that are going through this, and some people may miss this stage or start earlier, and then we find out that the stages that are in black and white that we read about and that everyone tells us about, it's a guideline. And many times it's the tears that come with listening to someone else and knowing that you're not alone, and it's a release. It's a big relief for your emotions.
For an hour at a time at these support groups, I allow myself to say, okay, I'm sad. I'm losing my best friend. How am I going to deal with this? I feel alone. But then I find out I'm not alone.
What I see from her going to the meetings, she can go there and she can fuss and tell them that she's had a rotten day with me, or I was a jerk, or whatever. And that's okay, because I'm glad she's got somebody to bounce that off of. And she can go there and she can cry if she wants to, or scream, or whatever she chooses to do. And then she can come home, and it's almost like a pressure cooker. She's let off some of that steam, and she don't have to worry about blowing it home.
So we have actually made great progress in providing support to individuals who are caregivers for the patients with Alzheimer's.
With Alzheimer's, it is a major responsibility on the caregiver. There's so many things that your mind has to be aware of, and mostly if you're trying to do things all on your own. And that can make a caregiver sick themselves.
You have to take care of yourself, because they depend on you, so you have to make sure that you're up to par in order to do what needs to be done with them. And you can't put a lot of burden on yourself emotionally, but to the point where you become stressed out. So you have to realize that, which is nice to talk to other people, that you aren't the only ones going through this, and you have people that you can turn to for help and be able to vent. Venting is it's a breath of fresh air.
We go through it together as a family, not just as one individual person. So that makes it better. None of us really understand it very well, and we're all going through this together. So I think if one of us is having a bad day, we shouldn't act bad, and we should feel for them, because we have those days too.
Don't be hard on yourself by being angry, and realize that it's not your fault and it's not their fault. Because you're going to come across things that are going to make you angry, and you're going to wonder why are you doing this, or stop this. It's not their fault, and you can only do so much.
It's sad that people have this, and
there's a lot of people with it.
And it's hard to go through this, and I miss him being more normal.
And it would help everyone if you knew there might be a cure or something.
So to say someone's brain is sick, we have to do something. This becomes a national dilemma that we have to try and overcome.
It's really sad to get involved with something because your husband or your mother or grandmother has been affected by this disease. When if all put our resources, our education out there, and just the support of every day, how do we live with the Alzheimer's population, it would make this disease so much more bearable for everyone.
One of the most important agendas for the next decade or so is to teach people about the disease, and we need to educate people in our communities who either are going to be caregivers, which many people will, or who are going to be interacting with patients and families who have Alzheimer's, so that there's some understanding and support.
We just can't forget the people. We just can't forget them. I know the people with Alzheimer's are aggravating. I know that they say things they shouldn't say. I know that they probably say things to hurt people's feelings, but it's not that they're saying things indignant on purpose. It's because they can't help it, and those people just need people to love them, and I know that as long as Christy's alive, she'll be there having conversations with me when I'm at that point. I hope.
Yeah, he'll be saying, "Can you ever be quiet?"
Yeah. So. But I just don't want to be forgotten. I guess that's what it is. I just don't want to be put away and forgotten.